Why do we treat kids like they are a different species? Like, why do we talk about kids as if they're not humans? Today is day 101 of my 365-day visibility series. My name is Don O'Friend. My goal is to become an even more known public figure for young people. And yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about the work, and I've been thinking about what's made me successful in the work, especially from kids, because kids are kind of notoriously known for not liking things that are adults will say to them or like will prescribe to them kind of. And I got some survey results from the school I just did a week-long program at, and they were phenomenal. Like, a kid literally called the work profound, and had a life-changing impact on his relationships with his friends. This is an 8th grade boy. And as I've been talking about this with my friends and my community, I've just realized that there is this huge belief that kids are inherently different than adults. And developmentally, I mean, the real thing that's different is that their brains and bodies are still growing, and our brains are kind of going the opposite way as you get older. But other than that, like, kids want the same things adults want: respect, mutuality, choice, autonomy, and we don't offer it to them. And not only do we not offer it to them, it's so much of like we don't even talk about it. It's so much of a taboo thing to say that kids deserve to be treated like humans. People like kind of scoff at me when I say that, because they're like, of course they're treated like humans, but we don't even have conversations around rights and choice and the things that would make adults really upset, like taking choice away from them or telling them what to do, right? They're like, well, you can't tell me that because I'm an adult, but we can tell kids what to do. And then we're surprised when kids don't want to do it. They're humans. They're literally people, right? They're just younger than us. The only thing that I have on kids is time. I've been on this earth more than them. I've said this before. I have met kids who are more intellectual, emotionally intelligent, resilient than adults who are in their 50s and 60s, right? I've met kids who have had amazing ideas and companies that they wanted to build, and it's like people don't take them seriously. And this is the thing that's frustrating to me, right? Is I'm trying to get these kids to take themselves seriously within systems that do not take them seriously. That's it, right? There's all these conversations around youth mental health and gun violence in schools and all these things like social media that are having huge impacts on kids. Where are their voices? Like, why are we not bringing them to the table? And I just want a good answer for that. I don't think that the answers that we have, or that we've just done this for so long, right, is good enough. I just don't think so. I mean, nowadays, kids have access to so much more information. They see what we're doing. They see what the world is, right? And we still tell them we know what's best for you, and you don't know what you're talking about, and you don't get to tell me I'm right. I was just like watching videos today, and I'm reading these comments. This little girl stood up to her teacher, and like, look, I love teachers. I appreciate teachers so much, but that doesn't mean that every teacher is a good teacher. And in this video, that teacher was being super disrespectful to the kid. And the kid was just like asking why they had to do it a certain way. They were saying, can we do it this way? This becomes like a do what I say because I said so thing. I don't know the context around the situation, right? Which means that maybe they had to do it in that way, but also she had a good point. She was just saying, look, like, this is another way we can do it. I'm just wondering if we can. The teacher's like, how dare you talk to me? This is my classroom, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it, because if she would have said, cool, like, let's explore this, then there would have been more engagement, maybe more buy-in when young people have choice. And one of the biggest things that kids say to me that really stands out to them about my speeches and my workshops is the idea that I tell them they don't have to listen to me. And a lot of times they do listen, but I just give them the option and let them know that they don't have to, right? I'm not going to pretend to be the person that knows what's best for them. I'm just offering them options. And when people choose something, their motivation, their engagement, their buy-in, people, so notice how I said people, kids and adults, is so much higher. I also see this when I like do PD with teachers, or if I work with parents, that there's this kind of like, you can't tell me anything, right? I don't have to listen to you. But kids do have to listen to adults. And I understand that kids need safety and structure. I don't let kids run wild in my programs in my class. I have very strict structure around, hey, this is how we show up in this space, right? These are the expectations. But I also ask young people, what are your expectations of this space? So it's not just me saying, what do you want? But think about what would make you feel successful. What do you need from this space? So we co-create these agreements together. And I don't know. I know not every kid's going to take this seriously. I've said this a lot of times, and it's not me putting myself down or saying that the work is not good. I just know that when you give people the option, that they're going to choose one or the other, right? And sometimes they're just going to say, I don't care. No matter how much respect I give them, they're not going to care. But I know that there are so many kids that do. I talk to them, I see them, I'm in workshops with them, I'm in classes with them. Kids are staying for long conversations. People are saying kids can't, their attention span is so bad, blah, blah, blah. But I had kids staying crying, not physically crying, but just like whining that they had to give up an hour. They had to like leave the conversation after an hour. They wanted to stay talking. And it wasn't just because they wanted to skip class. Like several of those kids could have gone home before the conversation. They stayed in it. And the thing that was different about it was we were all talking as equals. If it's radical for me to say that kids should be treated as equals, then I'm radical. But I think that demanding respect from young people, worrying so much about control. Why aren't kids doing what we say when the adults that are in charge, a lot of us are wildly out of control. Things feel so out of control. Like I wouldn't listen to someone either. If I was watching the world and the adults were acting wild and I was a kid, I probably wouldn't want to listen or take advice from them either. And so with young people, I just try to learn with them. Whatever. I'm leaning into this now because it's just so silly, and I'm expecting that people are going to have strong opinions about it, but I don't care. I posted some videos on my TikTok and my Instagram about me talking to young people about, are people good or bad? What do you think? How do we address harmful behaviors in relationships? And these fifth graders were in the conversation, listening and understanding and participating and asking questions. And a lot of these comments were like, oh, this is like a moral philosophy question you're asking these kids. And I was like, yeah, I didn't have to like teach them how to think. They already think about these things. They're human beings. Kids are human. They're people. Oh my God, kids are people. We have to keep them safe, right? I understand that 100%. But I think it's worth exploring, what does safety mean, right? What does that mean? We have to keep kids safe. We have to protect kids. There are some things we have to protect them from, 100%. There are people that do bad things to kids. There are people that take advantage of kids, right? There are choices that kids can make that can cause a lot of harm to themselves. But there's also the other side of like, there is space to give them choice. There is space to give them say. There is space to let them be at the table. Even this idea of the kids' table versus the adults' table. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not saying that I have the answer, but I'm just thinking about it. So, see you tomorrow. Bye.